Hey guys, Gabe here. I just wanted to do a real quick update. Um, basically, yeah, I have been on testosterone for. I'm just trying to calculate here. I'm not going to tell you that okay. I'm hungover again. Why always in these videos? See, okay, I think the average person wouldn't feel the need to announce their hangover, having had 2.5 drinks the night before. But for some reason, I get so hungover so easily. I had like maybe 3 or 4 drinks. And I am incapacitated. So that's why I feel the need to explain it, because it doesn't matter how much I drink, I will be loopy and inarticulate. Um, Now, that being said, I think I should probably just quit drinking altogether. I think that'd be a good thing to do. So, anyways, enough about my drinking habit. I am 4.5 months on tea. Um, I've been having a lot of really wonderful, affirming moments. I went into a coffee shop that I frequent, and a friend of mine was working that I hadn't seen in maybe a couple of weeks. And I ordered a coffee, and she started grinning at me and was basically like, "Every time you open your mouth, I just have to grin. You sound so good." And basically, that was, she was just beaming at me because of my voice change, which is really, really cool. And then I ran into another friend of mine who is a trans guy who's way further along in his transition. And I said hey to him, and he was like, "You look so good, and you sound so good," and it was just awesome. One thing about my voice that I don't really like that's changing, though, just to throw it out there, I'm a big inflector, and meaning that I like to not talk in a monotone, which means has always made it harder for me to pass, and I still don't pass over the phone. Um, but because guys don't usually use a lot of inflections, but that's okay. I don't mind not passing if I'm not passing due to things like, um, you know, not being a monotonous dude, bro. So yeah, but it's really, really hard for me to inflect now the way that I was able to inflect pre testosterone. Because I'm kind of my range is narrowing, and I first noticed it from when I was singing, and now it's when I'm talking too, and it's like if I laugh, if I get excited, I'll try to put my voice up higher and I'll try to talk where it's more comfortable, and it's just not going to happen. It cracks and squeaks and sounds terrible, so I've got to kind of maintain a more monotonous tone in order to avoid my voice cracking. Which, I also don't mind my voice cracking, it just kind of hurts sometimes. Um, yeah, it almost feels like I need to expend more energy to project my voice and to make it kind of change tones and that sort of thing. So I'm kind of like, it's kind of easier to talk in a monotone, but I don't really like that. Hopefully, once the changing stops, I gain a little bit more control over my voice again. Um, yeah, that being said, um, what was I going to say just now? Huh. It's gone. Anyways, other changes besides vocal stuff. I finally have some hair on my thighs, like actual hair on my thighs that you can see, without squinting and standing directly in full sunlight. So that's really cool. I keep seeing all of these videos from these guys who are like, "I'm 1 year on testosterone now, and I have a full goatee, and my belly's really hairy, and these are my pre-T and now pictures," and I just like, I feel like if things continue at this pace, I'll never have a full beard or any facial hair at all. I've got a bit of a mustache, but nothing that you can see. I'll never have any belly hair. I'll never have like any body hair at all. I I feel like the pace that my transition is at so far is so, so slow. And I am only injecting 50 milligrams every 2 weeks. I'd like to up that to 50 milligrams every 10 days. Um, but yeah, um, I don't know. I just almost can't even see myself. having any hair at all. And that includes on top of my head, because one of the biggest things that's changing right now is my hairline. And I don't even want to show you guys. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I'm not too stoked about that. Um, I don't know. It's better than being covered in acne if we're going to weigh less desirable testosterone changes. But I don't know. I think I'm really lucky to not be covered in acne. Once again, I'm wondering if a lot of the things that I'm experiencing now is just because of my low T dose. I'm also noticing that pretty much every Sunday, like I inject on a Thursday, every Sunday, or not every Sunday, every other Sunday when it's the Sunday before my injection, I just get really, really grumpy. My mood plummets, and I'm just kind of like in a really pissy mood for the next 4 days. So I really need to change my injection stuff there. Um, Speaking of which, I missed a doctor's appointment today. I'm actually furious about it because I woke up this morning. I was gonna go walk, and then I called my dad and was like, "Hey, want to take me to a doctor's appointment?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll be there, and I'll take you to your doctor's appointment." And he showed up 5 minutes after my appointment was supposed to start to pick me up. Didn't apologize. Just kind of showed up, and was like, "All right, let's go." And I was like, "You're 5 minutes after the appointment was 5 minutes ago. Like it's a 10-minute drive." I called them and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to reschedule." So I had to rebook my appointment for the 10th of March. So upset, and my dad was just like, "Well, I hate to say I told you so, but I was firstly, no, you don't. You love saying I told you so, but I mean, you really got to plan these things in advance." It's like I've been waiting for this appointment for 2 weeks. I planned it in advance. Like I was way too livid to even say anything. And another change from testosterone is I've been way more assertive and way less prone to deal with people's crap. So it was very hard for me not to completely lose it on him. Because there's no way that man is ever going to be held accountable to anything, so help him God. Anyways, I'm pretty upset because this appointment I was going to talk about upping my dose, which I really desperately want to do. And I was going to talk about, I was going to get a prescription because I need to get a new prescription, I think, to get more tea, because I think that she just gave me a one-time prescription. It was a sort of like, check back after this and we'll see if you still want to be on testosterone thing. So I'm down to like one dose, and I'm not sure that there's even enough tea in this vial for one dose. And I, like a huge asshole, left my testosterone in someone's car overnight. It froze and then thawed. I don't even know, like, does anybody know if that compromises testosterone, if it freezes and then thaws out? I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to store it at a certain temperature. So I think I'm going to have a low dose of once frozen testosterone, and there's nothing I can do about that. Because I can't fill my prescription again because my doctor wanted me to come back to her to get another prescription, which is such a pain in my ass. And something that really pisses me off about that, I'm just, I'm kind of in a bitch because I am tired and hungover, and, it's day 11 of my T cycle or whatever. But something that pisses me off about that is that the way that my entire transition with like has been structured around a sort of like fear of me regretting my decision. Like all of the gatekeepers, all of the medical practitioners involved in supplying me with the tools for my medical transition have all positioned everything as a sort of like, well, we'll start you off on a low dose so you can adjust to the changes, and then you can stop if you don't like it, and then come back to me in a month and we'll see how you're doing, and then come back to me when this prescription's up and we'll see if you want another one, and we'll just sort of see and play it by ear. It's like I've decided what I'm doing. How many people go into this and then a month in say, whoa, that was a huge mistake, thank you so much for starting me off on a very low dose so I don't have to deal with whatever would change in a month that on a low higher dose. Anyways, that's my rant. I'm ranting now. I don't know. I just think it's kind of silly. Like, I understand I'm going to check in with a doctor about physical stuff, make sure you're okay, make sure you're emotionally okay, sure. Like, there's a lot that goes into transition. But I just feel like so much of this has been positioned around the probability that I'm going to, want to stop testosterone, or that there's a possibility of that, and like wanting to stop it in a sort of, oh no, I need to stop way, not a kind of like thought out like, okay, well that's what I wanted from testosterone, I will stop now. And B, that I'm going to regret whatever changes I've had. So yeah, I don't know, that kind of bugs me, obviously. And anyways, other changes. Um, my muscles are pretty big. It's pretty cool. I'm not really working out, and they are growing big time. I've been stretching constantly. I just stretch and stretch and stretch, just constantly. My muscles feel like chewy and like I need to flex them and move them. And yeah, and when I stretch, it feels so good. Like I've never experienced stretching like this. It's like, thank you, testosterone. It's a lovely little addition to my day. Um, Also, yeah, what else? I'm adjusting to the sex drive thing. This also might just be because I'm on a low dose of testosterone, so I find it more easily manageable. But that's getting easier to sort of deal with. Um, and I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about the worries that I had before I went into testosterone. I've really struggled to say the word testosterone. I like stutter every time. But the fears I had before going into it, about losing my queer visibility, losing my queer identity because I'm mainly attracted to women, that sort of thing. And as I've been passing, I've actually been feeling really, really empowered. And I feel better in my body now, so I feel sexier. I feel good. Um, and with passing, it's bittersweet because I like having my, like, it feels affirming when I pass. It feels like people are getting something right. At the same time, it does worry me because of what goes into appearing as a male in the world, and male privilege, and how loaded people's concepts of maleness are. And I don't like the idea that I might be passing as a cis guy, basically. So I've been thinking a lot about ways to be visibly trans, ways to be visibly queer. I think I'm pretty visibly trans right now because I don't really pass consistently, and people are kind of like, what the fuck are you? Um, but is there I think what I'm trying to say is more like not visibly trans because of a lack of passing, but trying to be visibly trans, you know, in a different way, like not visibly trans because you look like you couldn't be cis or whatever. So I've been thinking about ways that when I do start passing consistently, and when I do just kind of look like more of a guy, as I'm sure will happen, um, different signifiers that will cue sort of transness about me, specifically in queer spaces. I hold no illusions that cis straight people, will be able to pick up anything about me and go like, I wonder if that person's trans, like, people are pretty clueless about that sort of stuff. But I've been thinking, one of the things I've been thinking about is, my fears that I was thinking about my fears around whether or not queer women would be attracted to me when I started looking more male. And they seem to be. I'm not having a whole lot of problems in that sort of department. I haven't faced a lot of rejection around my transition, is what I mean to say, or due to my transition. And I've been thinking about, little things like when friends of mine have related that when they started passing, they're still dating dyke identified or queer identified women who are visibly queer, and walking down the street holding hands with them and having that reaction that's like, don't you both know the other person's gay? Trans man is kind of signifying gay male, his partner signifying gay female, and it's sort of like confusion and this like, that doesn't make sense. I don't understand you guys are attracted to each other from like a general public. And I was thinking about that and how friends have like kind of lamented the loss of being in a visibly queer relationship. But I think that is such a visibly queer relationship, to have any sort, like, to give people pause when you're walking down the street. Like, I think that there are ways that we can, signify a trans identity or queer relationship, you know, simply by telling our stories enough and having things that we're going to, that people kind of are going to automatically link up to transness, be put out there. You know, and if enough people tell the stories about when holding hands with their dyke-identified partners and they look like a gay man and that reaction and everything. I mean, I've certainly got to the point where if I do see a gay-looking guy and a gay-looking woman holding hands together walking down the street, part of me will wonder, okay, I wonder if there's a trans person in this relationship. And I don't know if that's just my own experience and the fact that I kind of wonder if everyone's trans, and then, you know, kind of put that aside after. And I don't know how problematic that is or not. But anyways, I've been pondering that. I will continue to ponder that, and I will maybe do a more detailed, more concise video on those sorts of thoughts. Because something that's really important to me lately is not losing my queer visibility, not losing, especially specifically in the context of myself and a partner, not losing visibly queer relationships, and also if I'm passing as male, passing as, or just I'm really struggling with the language of passing lately, but you know, signifying that I'm a trans male or a trans masculine person, and not a cis dude. It's really important to me as a sort of trans masculine genderqueer person that I don't lose my visible genderqueerness completely. So I'm just thinking about negotiating that. And I'm sure that this video is very, very long right now, so I'll cut it off here. And yeah, so generally I'm doing good. That's the bottom line. Really good, actually. I'm just having a bit of a rough day, and I'm kind of panicking about my next shot. So yeah, I hope everybody else is well, and yeah, take care.